Man, Cheeto just can't catch a break, can he? Well, I guess you could say he kind of did in this chapter. He actually, if you guys read the chapter, y'all know. If you haven't, go read it. Kagurabachi is actually pretty good. But yeah, the dude responsible for his dad's death, is here, and Cheeto is. I mean, he kept a pretty cool head for a moment. He kind of did, but I mean, yeah, there's only so much you could do, right? I mean, he is still a kid, right? He's what is he, 17 right now, still, right? So yeah, you gotta give it to Cheeto. He's holding on in there, man. But let's just dive right into the review, shall we? Because holy cow! And this is Kagurabachi, chapter 31. Greetings. Yeah, and then the first full full page is the dude, the mastermind, the dude responsible for Cheeto's father, just there casually adjusting his ties, saying, "You've really grown up." And Cheeto, his scar starts throbbing as he just gets flashbacks after flashbacks of his father getting killed, the swords being stolen, and Cheeto immediately just rushes him and pins him to the wall. And Cheeto, so much things just running through his head, of course, but Cheeto is trying to be logical about this, but he is trying to be logical. His sentences are logical, but you can see the expressions on his face, and you can see his inner monologue. He's just kind of just spitting through so many words or so many questions. He's like, "What should I ask him? What should I ask him? What should I ask him?" And Cheeto says, "You're from the Hishikaru, aren't you? What are you after? Where are why are you here?" And then yeah, the dude says, "I'm surprised you can maintain your composure enough to interrogate me right now. I'm the leader of the Hishikaru. I'm responsible for the murder of your father." And he actually just go up, he brings his hand up and pushes the sword away, like, well, the broken me sword away with his finger. We do see blood dripping from it, so neat detail there. I just gotta say that. As he's like, "Hold on, I'm not one for wasting words. Let's just, let's get this over with." He And then he just uppercuts Cheeto so hard as he just essentially just lays the smackdown on Cheeto. Cheeto does retaliate, but again, this guy is just on a whole other level. Cheetos is very distraught. He doesn't have his long sword. He has a broken sword that he's fighting with, so he's obviously not, all there, and he's not fighting at full capacity. So yeah, Cheetos are already at a massive disadvantage, and this guy just takes advantage of it and just beats Cheeto down. But he does say to Cheeto, like, it's interesting how you're able to fight like this. Um, you are using less power though. Is it because the sword is broken, or is it just because you just started, or is it both? And Cheeto's like, "Man, this guy's good. He did all this right here without even using magic." And he kicks Cheeto to a wall, and Cheeto just gets pinned to the wall as the roots just grow around him and hold him down. As the dude just says, "Yeah, I really don't want nothing to interrupt the auction, so let's make sure the auction happens. All right." Then we cut to Kiora. Essentially, he starts announcing. He does give some exposition on the war in Japan, what happened with all of that, and that's actually really really cool. But I did think to myself, is this an exposition dump like for us? But well, technically it is, but also it does make sense for the context of the story because he starts going over the history of the swords, what they did many years ago. That a country jumped Japan. Japan was very very unprepared. They did have sorcerers, but the sorcerers only could do so much against overwhelming forces. Till eventually, the swords were created by Cheeto's father. They're able to 6 of them were able to turn the tides of the war, and the seventh one was able to end the war. And he's going over that because he has one of the swords, the main one, the head honcho sword, not the not Cheetos, but the main one that was first offered at the auction is here. And as he's talking about this, there's like a group of dead people around him that obviously tried to rush him before the auction started, but he clearly took care of them. So yeah, he's got some skills. And right there, Cheetos just starts trying to talk to the leader as he says, Why are you putting the Zuzuchi up for auction? Why are you here? And just all these words, just all these sentences on why this, why that, why this, why that, just come rushing to his mind as he's almost breaking his composure because he does shout, "Why did you kill my father?" Interesting look on his face. I looked really close, and it does not appear to he has any tears coming down, but it does look like his tears are getting watery. So I'm not sure if that's what the mangaka was going for, but I think it is, and I gotta say it's pretty good because again, Cheeto is very hardened, but you're gonna crack and probably buckle under the pressure of you're facing the actual dude that killed your father, and he's right there, and he just beat you down. And Cheeto just wants to. Cheeto's trying to be reasonable, but he just can't do it. He just can't do it, and I gotta say, that's like wow. I get nothing against Cheeto. Cheeto, he's a pretty dang good kid. But again, there's only so much he could do, because he's a kid in the end, and there's only so much he could take, mentally. And this dude is responsible for everything that happened with Cheeto and his father. So yeah, poor Cheeto. And then Kiara just continues on with the legend of the sword, essentially that yeah, this sword is pretty dangerous, and chances are there are some of you out there in the audience that have actually witnessed this sword, how dangerous it could be. And then we cut to the leader essentially saying, "Why, Cheeto? Here's your answer, as well as a declaration of war. It's all so that I can wield the Zuzunichi." So yes, the leader wants to wield the most powerful sword, Zunichi, and he's working with this Yakuza group. And how is he going to able to wield the Zunichi? Because again, you have to kill the previous user, right? Now, how is that going to happen? I want to come up. I want to throw some theories at y'all to hear what y'all have to say about that. Because I got some thoughts. I got some thoughts on that. As he says, that he wants to wield the Zunichi because again, that's a very powerful sword. He wants it because swords, they're not like people. Swords cannot pick their masters. You just get the sword and you wield it. The only thing is, again, you have to kill the previous owner of the Zunichi to be able to use it, right? But once you get the sword, it's only to you. So again, very interesting philosophy here between the boss and Chio. As he just continues on saying, like yeah, that everything, yeah, my group and this group here, yeah, we're working together to achieve a certain goal, but it's gonna be my end. I want the Zunichi. And Chio's like, "Yo, why don't you even kill me?" And he just says, "Well, you're too green to harvest." And I'm like, okay, they addressed it, but I really, really, really don't like it when villains could kill the hero easily. They just don't for whatever dumb reasons. But here again, I don't like it. That's a trope I don't like whatsoever. But here, it does seem like they're obviously gonna go somewhere with it. They might go the way of similar with Bleach with Aizen. He could have killed Ichigo anytime, he just didn't because what could Ichigo do to him, right? And then next thing Ichigo became Dangai. Ichigo trained and then just came and just thrashed Aizen. And to be fair for Aizen did have a reason to just be like freaking out, like what the freak? Like I literally just just watched you just break down like 5 minutes ago. Now you're throwing me around in my transcended form, my fifth dimensional transcended form. Like what in the world's going on? Like that's an appropriate time when your main villain could be like just freaking out, like wait, what? But here, even though I don't like this trope, I won't take any points away from it because again, just because a story has tropes doesn't make it bad. It's just how it's implemented, how it's treated, and how it's done. All right. So again, even though I don't like this trope, I won't take any points away from it just because I don't like it personally. But again, I'm very curious to see how this is going to happen. I'll be keeping my eye out for this. And right there, Cheeto, yeah, well, he just continues as saying, uh, I won't bore you. I have a lot to tell you after. For example, about what happened when your father died. And Tito just says, "Shut up. You're gonna pay." And he just remembers him and his father and his adversaries that he came across as he thinks to himself with his father. Those blades are special to me. Well, that's what his father said as he thinks. Anyone can enslave them. You just started to use it. And he just thinks, no. I was at your side the entire time. I won't let you die like this. As we see lightning just coming from the broken blade, as Cheeto says, "Me, shred, die as mine at my side." End of chapter. So yeah, Cheeto, he's probably gonna go into that. I'm assuming he's gonna go to that form similar to he did when he fought and killed Sojo. That's what I'm assuming it's gonna be. Obviously, not gonna be as good because well, broken sword, right? But it's still gonna be pretty dang powerful. And how in the world is he gonna get out of this? I think he's gonna use it to get out of it, fight the main dude. Main dude's probably still gonna be able to fight him off until the auction, the sword sold, and then he's probably gonna be like, all right, see ya. Can't wait to see what happens with these soon. Yeah, that concludes my review. But I want to throw a theory out there. All right. Oh no, let me rate this chapter. I'm gonna rate this chapter an 8 out of 10. I really, really liked it. Again, um, the there's no real big problems with it. Again, everything with Cheeto just interacting with this guy was great. And then the we got more lore, which is always appreciated. Always appreciated here. Um, but again, yeah, this guy, unless Cheeto's like a key to something, he should just be able to just take out Cheeto because why not, right? But we'll see though in the future, right? All right. Okay, here's a theory I got for y'all out there, right? What if the main dude of this group is kind of playing a not a double cross, but kind of playing both sides, where he's kind of like the Palpatine. If y'all know that Star Wars reference, he's the Palpatine, and one group is the Separatists, and one group's the Republic, and he's gonna have them fight each other. And while they're fighting each other, he's gonna come in, not not to take over, but to where the Kanubai are weakened. He could probably then go in, kill the guy that owns or that's the current master of Zunichi, and then when he's dead, he could finally get the sword and be in control of it. That's my thoughts on it. Maybe this whole arc is this whole auction arc is gonna be a ruse for a massive war, so he could go off and just try to kill the previous user. But I don't. I could be way off. Oh, excuse me. It's already 2 a.m. here. My apologies. So yeah, that concludes my review. If you listen this far, I appreciate it. I hope you guys have a great day and take care. Later.